Welcome back to another episode of Life with Lamb. Today I'm here with Kevin Vo. How are we going?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm good. I'm a bit rusty. Haven't haven't touched the mic in a very long time, and I feel really bad. But we're back. We're back in your ears. So thank you if you're tuning in still, and welcome, Kevin.
Hello.
What's been happening recently? I feel like we haven't seen each other in a little while.
I guess just been on break, taking like a mental reset with everything. Yeah, just going to Vietnam. I'll go to Vietnam next week as well. So,
Oh damn! What?
Yeah.
So you're in and out because you just came back from Vietnam.
Yeah, I came back and going back there again with the whole family. But yeah, just been having a good break, I guess, because Loki needed it.
Yeah, fair enough. In terms of like uni and everything, having a break from that. Or
But I'm still working and stuff like that. I gotta get money, man.
I
So
know.
my accounts get so dry now, but yeah.
Yeah,
just
fair
still
enough.
Working and having a break, pretty much.
Yeah,
Doing
nice
stuff as well.
And how have you found it? You've said you've wanted it as a mental reset. I'm sure it can be very relieving. I for one, was very close to taking a break from uni.
Really, I think everyone is like, I was at that point where they're like, I feel like, oh shit, I need to have a break, or maybe they drop a unit or something. I think that's pretty standard nowadays. I think ever since COVID, everyone's like,
bit of a Siebes,
yeah,
especially when everything's online. But
yeah,
I don't know. What can you do? I guess.
yeah.
Yeah, but tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I study at Deakin. I study commerce. Study commerce, and I'm majoring HR management. Yeah, so I'm pretty keen for that. Looking for an internship later this year as well. So,
Well done.
yeah.
Jeez, it's been a while, but tell us a bit about like what you've been doing on your break and everything.
On my break, I guess I try to spend more time with my girlfriend. I think, especially with like part of being like president DSA, I think there's a lot of time where I actually had to like spare time, but there's times where I feel like, okay, I gotta sit down and like have fun with her, because like sometimes I don't do that. That's why in a way I took this uni break as well, because I felt like doing 4 units, I could have done 2 units, but I feel I was just too stacked at the time, and I had work and recently moving houses as well, so I felt like I had to like not do uni for this trimester. I'll be back into it next try, which would be end of July, but I think I'll be like more mentally prepared, because like there's so much like happening, so I'm like, oh, I gotta chill down.
Yeah, literally, it's so good that you're able to take that step back as well, because I think a lot of us are very much like, no, get thrown into uni straight after high school, and
like, oh, I think I was talking to this one girl. She's Manav's friend.
Yeah,
but she took 2 units. Like she stopped doing 2 units and still doing 2 units. You know what I mean? So she took a half one. But it's like so much better if you think about it, because like, why would you want to do 4 units and do average when you can do 2 units and do well on it, and then just extend your course by like 2 years or something?
Yeah, exactly. I guess some people, I for one, like my girlfriend, she's very much like, okay, I gotta do this and that, and like, I'm sure I'll get Issachar on very soon, but
you get Issachar on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stay tuned. She's got her head like screwed in and everything, and I guess I'm just there like, holy shit, trying to juggle 4 subjects and everything. So I'm taking a winter intensive, and
yes.
that just started today actually.
Yeah.
So wish me luck, everyone.
Yes, good luck.
10 days worth of work, a whole subject being learnt in 10 days. So all the best to me. Thank you very much.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's just so important that you're able to navigate that and ensure that you're prioritizing your mental health, which is I commend you for it, Kevin.
Thank you.
Would you recommend it?
Would I recommend it? I guess it's kind of like just based on some people. Like if some people don't really have, not to be mean or anything, but if most people don't have like much going in their lives or anything, and they really want to just get into jobs and like really do well, I think not really, because I feel like you could just easily do your course, finish it, do well, and get into it. But I feel like there's definitely a lot of people who like kind of rush into it and then do average, and I feel like that's not, because you want to do well. Like, even though my teacher back in high school said please get degrees, I feel like you gotta do well as well in uni if you want to like get a pretty good job at the end.
Yeah, definitely. You've been moving house.
Yes.
Talk to us about that. How's that been?
Moved from Point Cook to Sunshine. I was such a Point Cook boy. I think there's a difference. I think moving to Sunshine, I could definitely tell that I don't belong here, because I don't know, it's just like I'm just not a Sunshine boy. I'm definitely like a Point Cook boy, where I really like going out late at night and not getting jumped or anything.
Shout out Sunshine.
But yeah, no, I feel like Point Cook was such a nice vibe because it's so friendly, so homely. We had really good neighbors back there as well. They're really nice to us. But Sunshine just like really like closed off, I guess. Like,
Oh, is it?
but it's just maybe it's just my community. Maybe I'm sure there's other like neighbors out there who's really nice and stuff like that. But moving houses was a bit hard. Like talked to you before, but grandpa passed away right when we moved houses, so my mom, my brother and sister went to Vietnam, and my dad and I had to stay home. We had to do the moving. We had to like dig up the dirt, and like apparently, if we didn't do it within the month, we would get fined from the area, because we had to plant like 2 trees at the front of the house, and so if we didn't do that in time, then we would get fined. So yeah, my dad and I had to like do work, plus Mia on the side who kept pooping everywhere and peeing everywhere. Yeah.
Who's Mia?
Mia is my dog. Is
very cute.
Damn, imagine I didn't say that. Imagine
It's just another your girlfriend.
It's just peeing.
So we had to look after her.
Yeah.
Anyway,
She's seen her at my party, my 18th birthday party. Oh, no, 21st.
21st, yes.
She was so drunk.
Oh.
Not Mia, my girlfriend.
Oh, okay. I was like, what is happening? Cute little pug.
Yes.
Very, very cute.
Very
like,
cute.
size of the hand.
Yeah, 2 hands.
2 hands now. Oh, she's grown.
Yeah.
She's very cute.
Yeah, she is very cute. I think if I really look at her, like, even though Pug's a bit ugly, she's not really ugly.
She's a very cute
She's
pug.
actually a very cute pug, I thought.
Yeah, definitely. How's your family?
We're okay. I think it's definitely getting better now, but I think it would definitely like go a little bit back down when we go to Vietnam, you know, because like my mom's really emotional at the moment.
Yeah,
like I can't say anything. Yeah, she's emotional, so and my dad's just trying to be there with her, and like we're all trying to be there with my mom. So
yeah, I guess I don't want to dive too deep into like mourning and everything, but how are you finding it, and what's your take been on it?
I think it was really hard for me to like mourn at first, because at the time when he passed away, it was Jaffe interviews as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like I had different things on my mind, but I think, were you there when we had that meeting?
That meeting, we have a few meetings.
There was a meeting where I kind of just like spilled to everyone saying that, you know, I don't think you were there.
I don't think you think
I
miss all the important ones, man.
But yeah, I kind of just spilled to everyone saying that, you know, I'm not doing that well. Didn't have time to mourn. But it's crazy because like other people were going through the same thing as well, so I kind of like felt comfortable like that I could like say it to them as well. So, but yeah, I think now it's a bit okay. Sometimes I do think a bit about him, you know.
Yeah,
who doesn't think about like their grandpa when they pass away and stuff like
yeah,
that, so.
it is pretty rough, and I think death is unfortunately sometimes like a wake up call to
Yeah, it is. It's always is.
Yeah, to be a bit closer to your family, and I guess every day we have to keep moving forward and make sure that we keep our loved ones close to us and make sure we spend some quality time with them as well.
Yeah.
I think that's something that I'm starting to learn as I get older and older, and
yeah. You know, there's this song that I really like by Alexander 23, not Jeremy's like that.
Not Jeremy's like
but it's called it's something about growing old, where he says that sometimes when you grow old, the people close to you don't grow old with you. And so basically it was a song about, I think he was talking about like his friend who passed away when he was 28, and so I think that still ties in with like maybe like, because I had a friend who as well when I was like in 2019, 2018, I had a friend who
How old are you? 21? Yeah, you're 21 now.
But in 2019,
so 3 years ago.
yeah, I had a friend, not 3 years ago.
Wait, it's 2022. 2018, 2019?
2019, 2020, 21,
20. 4 years.
So 4
Dude,
years.
I always fucked up my years. Shit, I just fucked up my years online. Oh,
no, 20. So in the year of 2019.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, he passed away, and it was like a major shock because he was only like at the
your
time,
friend.
Yeah, he was 17 years old, and then someone in Suzanne had a suicide incident. So that was another hard one. I think ever since 2019, like that year when I had my friend pass away, I felt like damn. And then when I heard about it again with the suicide, and then I think because during that year in 2020, there was actually quite a few suicides because obviously
because of
COVID and
and the
lockdown, like
pandemic.
people like staying home, stuff like that.
And I think the main takeaway is probably just keep close to your mates.
Yeah.
Make sure that you understand that each day could be your last.
Yeah.
As
Not-
pessimistic as that
tomorrow's not
sounds,
promised,
yeah,
something like
exactly. Tomorrow is definitely not promised, and treat people with kindness, because you never know whether the last words that you said that were probably that could have been mean, could have been the last words that you said to someone, and that's like not a guilt that I ever want to have, and I'm very conscious not to, I guess upset people in that way, because it's very, very sad when people pass away, of course. Anyway, that was a very intense 5-10 minutes intro. Welcome to Life with Lamb.
You say that now.
No, sorry, I don't mean to laugh at this. Anyway, Kev, we've been friends for 2 years, and I want a full rundown of your childhood. What were you like as a kid? What were you like growing up? Because I haven't got this spiel yet, and this is why you're on.
Well, I was actually a menace. I was such a menace. Like, you know when I took the photo of like my car in front of yours?
Yes. Those photos are disgusting.
Just imagine that, but like when I was younger. No, but like, I remember like there's like a few things I think my parents always remember about me, but like one thing was like I was on a leash when I was younger, because I couldn't stop running away. Like I just kept running everywhere.
Oh, you're on those like physical leashes.
Those actual leashes, yeah.
Oh my god.
I was like one of those kids where
No
I would just like
way.
run around and like cause so much trouble. There was one time when I was younger. There's actually like been so many times where I could have died when I was younger, but it didn't happen. But like there was one time where we're at a friend's factory, because they just bought a factory. They were like trying to make a new company, and we're like there to celebrate with them. And I was really young at the time. I was probably like 5, 6 or something. But then I disappeared for like 5 minutes, and I didn't know where it was. And then suddenly the electricity went off, and they're like, "What the fuck?" So they went to the electricity box, and it was me playing around with electricity.
Oh my god.
But I was just like that really, and I was like, even when I grew older, like I had that so much energy, and I like, and like my parents couldn't handle it, and that's why they got me into footy. They're like, okay, we got to get you to do something. We can't let you stay home, so they put me on the oval field, and I just did my thing from there.
Yeah. So AFL, grew up very sporty person.
Yes.
Talk to us a bit about that.
Started AFL, because you start AFL under 10s, I think, under 9s.
You start very young.
Yeah.
I wish I played footy.
But I started when I was 8, because they wanted me out of the house as soon as possible. I started when I was 8.
Little menace.
So, yeah, I think when I first started, I was so chubby. There's literally a photo of me, and I just look like I'm like those elephants just stomping the floor. I was just really chubby. And my coach that I had at the time, his name is Billy. I adore him so much, and I look up to him, especially as a coach. But like, yeah, he was there from the start when I was 8 years old, and so he coached me from 8 to like 16.
Jeez.
Yeah, so 8 years.
Huge part of your life.
But yeah, I played footy a lot. Played for Point Cook Bulldogs first, and then moved to Century Lakes, and then from Century Lakes moved to Hillside Sharks, and then Hillside Sharks to Hoppers, and from Hoppers I haven't played since 2019.
And what kind of level are we talking about? Like pretty high, or just like
Division 1?
Damn.
Footy. Since I think you start doing division since year 11, so since year 11 to under 18s.
Yeah, fair. What was your growth like as a person from year 8? Oh, years 8 till however old you are
like
in year 11.
Footy term, or
Yeah, footy term, on field, off field.
Talking about when I was younger, the first time I kicked the footy went backwards. I was so shit at kicking the footy, and my dad had to like some nights would take extra days. Like we'd go to like one of his friends who know how to play footy, and they would teach me how to kick. And because at the time I didn't know which foot I kicked with, but then I felt most comfortable kicking my left, so I started kicking my left. But even then, like my kicking was horrible. Like I couldn't like there's moments where I could run in, get the ball and kick it, and I'd be fine. But then there's moments where when I'm straight in front of goal, I just shank it. It just goes in a point. And also it was more like, in a way, I think like it was definitely a mental thing for me trying to kick goals. But later down the line, it just got better. So
Nice.
yeah. But I was a rough kid as well.
You're a rough kid.
Yeah, I was a rough kid.
Do you want to talk a bit about that?
I love tackling. It's such a great sport, like great part of the sport when you get to tackle other people, when you just get them in the ground. But obviously when I got older, I'm much smaller, so I couldn't tackle. So the best thing I could do was just bump other people and just weave through them.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
What did you learn about yourself playing footy?
What did I learn? Well, I think this is something that my dad taught me, and it was after one of our games. But one time, someone tackled me, and it was a ball up, when they throw the ball up,
yep.
and the guy spit on my back. I was like to the ref, like, you just spit on my back. He just spit on my back, and the guy didn't say anything. And so I told my dad, and my dad's like, next time, you never take anything from anyone. And so ever since then, whenever someone does something to me, I don't care if I get a yellow card or a red card. I go back at them. And there's so many videos that I have, where there's these moments where they tackle me after I kick the ball, and I just get up and just.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, because I just don't want to take it. As a really small Asian kid, you don't see a lot of Asian kids playing footy, and that's a small one as well. Like, I shouldn't be taking anything from anyone.
Yeah, definitely. You were part of a academy, right, or a squad?
Oh, a few, yeah.
Oh, a few. Okay, just pulls out the list.
I was a part of there was one thing I didn't mention actually, but I was a part of the North Melbourne Academy.
Oh, okay, wow.
Yeah, so it was.
But you want to be playing for them at the moment?
I'm a St Kilda fan, so. But yeah, I was part of the North Melbourne Academy. There's also the Western Bulldogs one that I didn't make. A few others did, but yeah, these academies are mainly just like sessions for us to train with like more professional people, pretty much.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. What else did you do at school, or did you consider yourself a bit of a like jock and? Like,
I think
super energetic kid.
For Suzanne Corey, I was definitely a jock. But I think being a part of Suzanne Corey, like, oh yes, I went to Suzanne Corey High School, yes, but being a part of Suzanne Corey definitely made me explore different things, and I think one of them was music. So I think I had a friend named Aaron. And I saw him play the piano once, and I was like, "Oh my god, that looks so good!" Like the kids.
Piano players are mesmerizing.
Yeah,
coming from a piano player myself, but
he also played violin as well. And so
I was talented as.
I looked at him all the time when he was like in the auditorium just playing the piano, and I would just listen to him. And I was like, "Damn, I really want to like play music as well." So that's why I picked up guitar and piano. And so, like, obviously I didn't want to take lessons because they're expensive, so I just, like, learned from YouTube, so.
I mean, that's probably the way to go at the moment, because, like, the amount of tutorials and, like, sheet musics that you can sort of purchase is, like, you probably don't need, like, you might need a couple lessons here and there, and unless you're doing, like, AMEB, which is the grading system for piano.
Yeah, I
totally
know that.
You totally know. Just nod.
Yes.
It's the grading system for, like, if you want to, I don't know, perform or like excel in like the art of learning an instrument. That's like where you go to. But if you're just like wanting to learn casually, whip out a party trick. Look, I know how to play Justin Bieber's new song. Like, yeah.
I saw you play a Glimpse of Us on piano.
Oh yes.
Oh, it was really nice.
It's a very nice song. I want to fully learn the melody to it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great.
How does Ithaca feel?
How does Ithaca feel? Oh no. How does Zads feel?
She doesn't feel great. But
Yeah.
I don't like. Obviously, I like the song.
I love the song.
I can't like
but
the song.
I can't
you know?
like
Yeah,
the song,
yeah.
We're stuck in this little joust of like, Joji. Look, the piano's great. The lyrics I can't really relate to because love Ithaca. So, moving on. So yeah, music. And where did that take you? When did you pick this up? Like,
It was year 9,
Year 9, yeah.
year 10.
Yep, nice.
Pretty much. It was like really an escape route for me, pretty much. Just like going home, and if I didn't want to be like at the time when I was year 9, I actually never gamed. I never touched any games, and so when I was really bored, I'd either go to the Oval or play the piano, and I think and the guitar, because we had the guitar as well. But at the time, we had a really shitty piano because it was my sister's one, and she stopped taking lessons because she didn't like it anymore. But when I turned 18, my mum bought me a whole new piano set, so it felt nice.
Shout out, mum.
Yeah. So I have a new piano, and I always play the guitar occasionally. But yeah, just time for me to like kind of escape, do my thing, and just like, chill.
Nice.
Make songs that I like very much.
Make songs.
I meant like play songs.
Play songs. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Now, music. Did that ooze into this school play that you? Talking about?
Well, yes, I did do the school play, and that was really just spontaneous. Obviously, when I was younger, watching movies, you really like actors and stuff like that. But this like opportunity for 2 people to join the school play, and so those auditions, I was like, oh, should I do it? So I just did it, and then I think 2 days later, they sent a like form saying that who made it to the whole school. Whole school, cause like we had like a newsletter kind of thing, that compass or something that everyone sees.
Oh yeah.
And so they announced who got it, and I was there. And then like I think 5 minutes later, the people who were in the cast came up to my class like, "Oh my god, Kevin, you made it!" I was like, "Oh my god, shit, fuck man." Yeah, and I was like decently close, like okay, close to them. But then I think through the school play, like obviously staying back after school, just learning the script and just like, yeah, there was this the director asked me if English was my second language.
Oh no.
Yeah. No, because like yes, English isn't my strong suit at all. Like,
would you say it is? Would you say it's equal to your Vietnamese or?
No, my Vietnamese is horrendous.
Okay.
I can talk a bit of it. I can understand it.
Yeah.
But like I'm not fluent at it at all. But English, obviously, I'm more fluent. But I think it's just maybe my accent or how I speak it. It's a bit like he questioned if English.
Damn.
Yeah, so I felt bad, but obviously, learning the script more and being okay with it, it was really fun.
Yeah. Prior to that, like you said, you were like, "Oh, fuck it, I'll just do it." Any doubts in your head, or did you? Have
It was out of like I made it or I didn't, because school plays wasn't my thing anyways. So
yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
I just have fun, because I think this was year 11, yeah, and so at the time I was like, because I sad to say, but I didn't really care about school.
Yeah.
I just obviously I tried my best and stuff like that. That's all I can do, try my best. But I really just wanted to have fun and make the best of my school experience. That's why in year 12 I did every sport. Because we had this like award system where they give you awards based on like how you did in specific like departments of music, education, sports and stuff like that. And for 3 years I always got bronze or silver in sport. So I got really mad, even though I was like sport captain for 1 year. So I was like, that last year I'm gonna play every sport, be captain on nearly every team. And so I got the gold sport award. Yeah. I just felt like, damn, this could have been given to me earlier.
We love good character.
But yeah.
So as you grew up, you were never the kid to be like, "Oh, what if other people think like this is bad or this is embarrassing?"
I think definitely. I think it started in year 10. I think that like second thought started like popping.
It always does
in year 10.
It literally always does.
Yeah, there's always like in high school, always like it pops out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think when I was younger, I didn't care about anything. I was careless. That's probably why like I was so rough as a kid as well. Like I didn't really care. But then I think in year 10 I started getting feelings. So.
And how'd you combat that, or how'd you learn to deal with that?
I think I'm really blessed to have really good friends. I think ever since year 9, being good, getting close with like I call them D1s. It's funny because the D1. But
the clubs?
No. But they're called my day ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so D1 for sure and stuff like that. But yeah, they've been with me since year 9, and like I hold them really close because they're the only people. They've been the only people who are like being there the whole time. Like, obviously my parents are there, my family's there, but sometimes it's hard to talk to my mom and dad. Sometimes it's hard to talk to my sister and brother, and so my boy's always there for me.
Yeah, and that's what friends are for, I guess. It's so nice and fulfilling when you find like the right group of people.
Yeah,
that
really
are by
blessed.
your side the whole time. Yeah, exactly. Sweet. And then post high school, how was that?
So once when 2020 started, I just got it was a breakup pretty much. So 2020 started and we just got broken up, and I was like really upset and stuff like that. And this is when like COVID started coming as well, and so everything was inside, and I was like, oh fuck, I don't know what to do anymore. But I think for that year, it was actually, even though like everyone was inside, I felt like I just had surprisingly one of the best years. Because it was such a like huge growth for me. I really had to sit down, because I obviously when I was younger I had no feelings. I didn't care about anything. I feel like as I grew older, that's not gonna gel well with anyone, and so I had to sit down and really like work on myself. I really took a year off from like girls in general. I was like,
working on yourself.
Yeah, and just work on myself. And so I think that year was such a like big year for me, pretty much. But yeah, I did things like Rice that I mentioned before. I did things like Rice, which helped me like dance more. That's one of the things that I did at Rice, was dancing.
What is Rice for the listeners?
Rice is...
Actually, I have it here.
Yes.
We were Googling it pre-show.
Yes,
it's called the Renewal Interchurch Evangelism Movement, which sounds very full on, but please give us some insight.
So Rice is pretty much about... it's a group of people who like educate and help kids become more passionate to God. I'm not Christian myself, like I mentioned before. I'm not Christian. I'm not Catholic. I don't really follow religions in a way, but yeah, whatever you did or like however you did it, it was kind of like a connection to God, and pretty much that's how they ran things. And so they did things like art, they did things like music, choir, and they did dancing. And dancing was the thing I was a part of, pretty much.
Nice. What inspired you to join it, and where did you find or come across?
So, her name is Amelia Vu, and at the time she went to Suzanne as well. Wasn't close with her at all, but I don't remember. I think there was one time where they were filming advertisement for the rice, and they wanted me to dance for it. And so there was another girl named Shanae. She's a dancer from Suzanne. We did the video, and it was really nice. And it was like the first time I got to like hang out with Amelia and Shanae properly. That's her name, Shanae, the dancer. And I guess I just got more interested into it. And then there was another guy named Denzel, who I got really close with. Because like we were the only three Westsiders, Amelia, Denzel, and I, and we just got really close because we were all three from dancing as well. And so I think that's what really connected me with him. And even though it was online, it just felt like it's really hard to say it now, but like it just felt really godly, kind of like to experience like these emotions and like have these words with like really like get in depth with these people pretty much.
Yeah,
I
nice.
never knew before. I never knew who they were, and just now I just know so much about them.
Yeah. So this was all during like COVID. And
Yeah, this is
everything.
during COVID, so I was
Damn.
really shocked.
Fair enough. And then did that inspire you to like delve into other projects or like initiatives and things like that?
I think Rice, what it did so well for me was since that year where I was like learning and not like learning about myself. I think it was such a good year for Rice to be a part of my life. I haven't done Rice since 2020, but I don't know. I guess it just helped me in the process of learning more about myself and just kind of like become myself more, pretty much who I really wanted to be.
Yeah, fair enough. Because you were still, I guess, like coping with the breakup and everything. Did you find that Rice was like a huge part of
It was definitely a part of it.
that part? Yeah.
It was definitely part of it, but there's like heaps of things happened in 2020. So
Yeah. 2020 was like the most uneventful but eventful year of all time, I swear.
yeah, very true. Because that's when DSA started as well.
Yeah.
DSA started that year as well. So
Yeah, nice. And we will delve into that a little bit. Did DSA happen before or after DILP?
Dope. It happened. DSA happened technically after Dope.
Okay.
Technically.
And
Yeah.
delve into one of those two.
I'd probably go Dope first.
Okay.
So Dope technically was, for me, meant to start at the start of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
But then COVID happened.
Yeah.
So they had to cancel the program for the whole year. So I didn't like, even though I was a part of Dope, it wasn't there for whole 2020. But I did it in 2021 technically.
Nice.
Yeah.
And for the listeners there, DILP, DILP, is the Dual
Dual
Identity Leadership Program.
Yes.
I'll probably pop their Instagram in the show notes because I've actually been following them for a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have.
Oh,
I know a couple of people there, and I'm like interested to get a couple of them on the podcast.
Oh,
which would be,
damn. That's very nice.
exciting because they seem like they're making quite big waves in the community.
Yeah, they are. I think
Yeah.
they definitely are.
And what is this program? I guess.
So it's pretty much a program that kind of like explores your heritage a bit more, like kind of dive more deep into it, especially being like second gens, or like most of us being second gens, like
It's predominantly Asian.
yes,
children?
predominantly Asians, and it's like kind of just helps us dive into our heritage, pretty much, yeah.
Hmm.
But the other aspect is kind of like improve your leadership skills, kind of help you like, kind of help you with your leadership skills, and it helps you like become a better leader, I guess. That's just,
Yeah,
that's
fair
just
enough.
like the vibes of it, pretty much.
And who introduced you to DILP?
Her name is Elizabeth. She was school captain of Suzanne Corey in 2016. I was like a huge fan of her. Like she was a huge role model to me. And then when 2019 finished, like I was a low-key shocked that she came up to me asking me to join DILP as well. She asked another person as well, but I was like damn, I was really shocked. So I really wanted to do it and really wanted to like be a part of it. And what's surprising though is that I was actually one of the last few candidates that they picked. Like they had a pool of people, pretty much. Like they had picked 30 of how many people were in the class at the time, and I was probably the last one to get picked. which I got really upset about. I was told about this during the retreat that we had for dope.
Oh, no.
But yeah, it kind of just motivated me to put more work to dope then.
Okay.
Because
Nice.
like obviously Elizabeth, like everyone looked up to Elizabeth as well. Like Elizabeth has done a lot of things for like dope and like a lot for VSA as well. She's a part of VSA.
Mm.
But I just felt like I was such a letdown if I didn't like do something with my time at dope. So I wanted to prove the people who picked me last that I could do something.
Yeah, nice. And what has DILP, I guess, provided you in terms of? I want to talk about your Asian heritage because I know, like, us second generation Asians, we really get sort of lost in the sauce, lost in the white school,
Yeah.
like predominantly white people schools.
I went to Suzanne Korea though, so it's kind
Yeah,
of Asian.
and then it doesn't help much when we go into uni and it's exactly
Yeah.
the same as well. And especially now with COVID, the pandemic, and international students not being able to come into campus and everything, I feel like a lot of multiculturalism has started to fall out of Melbourne, especially. So I feel like DILP is a very important program.
Yeah.
How has
That's
that
very good.
all like reconnected you to your background? And yeah, talk to us a bit about that.
So like there's a session that they have at retreat, which is really enlightening as well. It kind of like teach you about the Vietnam War pretty much, and like how, like the refugees, how they had to deal with it and stuff like that. And like, but the thing is like, it's hard in a way for me to kind of understand that because both my parents aren't refugees. They flew here and they're really comfortable in a way. They didn't have much money. That's not the most comfortable part, but when they kind of dive into like how refugees had to do it and how like, you know, pirates kind of invaded their ships and they did a lot of bad things, stuff like that, you kind of like feel a lot of sentiment to these people. But also they've like done so much to get to Australia and they've made such a huge community. You kind of just want to like, and it's also really important to understand because if you don't like preserve that heritage, then it's just going to get lost, especially in Australia. And so like what they do so well is kind of just like teach you about this heritage, teach you about like, you know, what your parents did, what their parents did and stuff like that.
And like grounding you again, like from where you came from, because
My roots,
exactly, it's so hard to get lost in the movement. And like I think I'll openly admit this, at one point in my life I was like internally racist to like
Oh damn.
no, like honestly to like Asian people, and it's like it sucks. Like I look back at it and I'm like, why did I think that? Like I remember a moment specifically, my grandpa, he was slurping his food, and it's just like slurping. He's like this, like it's so stupid. I sit next to him at the dinner table for context, and homie was just slurping in my ears, and like I would just get so triggered by it, and and then I look back at it now, I'm like, homie's just trying to eat.
Yeah.
like
you know, probably in Japan it's good to slurp.
it is good to slurp and stuff, but I don't know. I still to this day don't know why I got so upset by it, but it happened. I'm owning up to it, and I'm not going to complain about something so like minuscule as well. Like I love my grandpa and like everything that he does for our family. So yeah, I don't know. It's just a bit of an insight there. It was it's strange because like as an Asian Australian growing up in high school, like I never had access to like DSA or like all these other Asian communities, and then all of a sudden come into uni and then all these clubs pop up, and it's like a really good thing to see, actually, like seeing all these Asians that might have been more sheltered or more quiet and introverted in high school coming out of their roots and going clubbing and, you know, raving and muzzing and XYZ to like hardstyle or like
that's not me. I don't do
that and whatnot. But I don't know, I've just seen like a really big rise in like the Asian population, and like a predominant amount of my friends right now are like Asian because of like all these opportunities at uni as well. So it's exciting.
True.
Yeah.
I think I've always been surrounded by like the Asian community, but in like primary school, like that's when I was like full of like Tongan, Samoans, like obviously white people, Muslims, stuff like that. So obviously like I got lost there, but then when I went to Suzanne, oh my god, wait. So you know how my Vietnamese is so bad, yeah? In
No,
Suzanne,
I don't
people
because I don't understand Vietnamese.
in Suzanne, people actually teased me for how bad my Vietnamese was.
Ooh,
I
that's
got
rough.
really upset.
That
I
is
got
very
really
rough.
upset because
I-
I think I was actually the worst at Vietnamese out of everyone who was Vietnamese there.
Yeah,
My
I
grade.
had a situation where I was doing a summer intensive and someone in my breakout room was like, "Oh, I can speak Cantonese." I was like, "Oh, me too." And then I started talking to her and she's like, "Your Cantonese is really bad." And I was like, "Okay, awesome." Like,
Damn, that's unlucky,
I thought,
man.
I thought I was doing my family a favor by like at least knowing a little bit because my brother's absolute dog shit at Cantonese. Like he speaks in a Chinese dialect but in English.
Oh.
He's like, "Can you get?" It's just the most racist thing of all time. But sorry, Brendan. like love you, but. And I look at him
God.
and I look at my grandma and I'm like, God damn it! Like I'm
Your grandma and grandpa knows a bit of English.
yeah, I'm really impressed. Like my grandma is really good at English. Not so much grandpa, but grandma's really really good at it. Cause she had to work from, like she had to work her way up. So she'd have to go to a job that was predominantly English speaking. So she learnt a lot there. But we've been talking recently, and she's like, my English is getting bad because I'm not surrounded by it 24/7.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
That makes sense.
It's hard in Australia. Like it's an English speaking country, so I feel like you lose a lot of your sense of cultural worth.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, like there's a story about my dad where he's like, this was like a really long time ago when he first was here, but he was on a bus and he was talking Vietnamese with his friend, and then there was this white guy who was like, stop talking another language, start talk English. Obviously at the time, this was like, obviously racism wasn't like crazy. Like people just kind of let it fly. I feel like that was such a big moment for my dad. He was like, I'm in Australia, I can say whatever I want.
Yeah,
So,
and that's how it should. It should
Yeah.
be like that everywhere, I guess. Like, just because you don't necessarily
no language.
know how to interpret and decipher like what someone else is trying to say, like doesn't mean
Yeah, you have
can
to
tell
like,
them
ask them to
yeah,
speak
exactly.
English. Man.
Like,
Yeah.
like, do you have to listen in? No, not at all. Talk to us about DSA. Look, that's how we met.
Yes.
You've been there since the very beginning.
Yes, I have
haven't
been
you?
there from the beginning.
It's been a wild ride.
3 years. Yes.
3 years.
3 years. It's been a long 3 years.
He's reminiscing for those listening on Spotify. He's just having to think.
Yeah. Well, so what did you say? Tell you about DSA? Well, DSA started from Zoom calls, pretty much. It was just like, well, actually, it first started from a love letter that someone sent in, saying that why isn't there like a Deakin Asian club? And so, you both know them, but Giselle and Andrew made a group chat, and that's pretty much how it started in a way. Like we all started talking. A lot of things happened that I probably shouldn't dive into, but a lot of things happened back.
We want the tea.
A lot of things happened back in 2020, but then there was like this really quote that we wanted to put into our membership card this year, but it was a bit too cringe, so we were like, okay, we shouldn't do it. But the quote was like, oh, are we actually gonna make it? Like, is DSA actually gonna be a club? That was someone said that a long time ago, and so in a way, like this year, this is like. Last year was really hard for us, obviously, but this year we want to take major leaps with what we want to do. And so this year we were kind of like thinking like, damn, we really made it. We're really here, and so we really should take that opportunity to like do the best we can. But yeah, DSA started from nothing, and now it's something. So I think I'm glad to be a part of that process from the start. I think a lot of people can't really say that they're there from the start. Like they were there when we first started, and then now they're here. But I think I'm glad to be a part of that process and being there at the start.
And you're now the current president as well.
Yes, I am the president. That's correct. I am the president.
Why'd you get so nervous?
Yes, I am the president. A lot of the times when I don't know. It's like sometimes I don't feel like the president, and sometimes I do. Yeah. I guess it's pretty normal sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Well, you're a great leader.
Thank you. Thank you.
No worries.
I learned it from Delp, don't worry. Was it? I was HR manager in 2020.
Yeah, that's right. What was your road to president, I guess?
Started off as general. I think it's general committee. Is it? Yeah, I started Gen Com, but then so like when we first started, when they first formed, like people in the club was at the end of 2020. Like 2020 wasn't like we didn't do anything, but we did have like an Among Us night. It's kind of meme now, but back then it popped off so bad. Like that's when we actually got our name out pretty much. But from end 20 it became Gen Com, and then midway through 2021 moved Gen Com to HR manager, and then from HR manager to vice president, and then vice president to now as president. Yeah, that's been my road so far.
It's a great journey.
Yeah. From the bottom, literally from the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is very true. He's started from the bottom.
No, yeah.
What's next for you?
What's next? Well, I'd love to be a part of DSA for the whole life, but I can't do that. I think DSA is such like, I think any Asian club, we should always think about it as like a part of our lives, not our whole lives. I think obviously I want to see everyone grow. I want to see how this club goes. But I think this is my final year. This should be my final year. I shouldn't do it another year. That's not how it should work. I should lay my ground and do whatever I can this year. And so next year, in a way, like I'm putting all my work to this year. I can't expect to do another year and be like, okay, I could redo it. It shouldn't be like that. I should be like, this is my final year. I'm gonna put everything to it. I'm gonna make sure that I leave a legacy behind, so then people can easily work on it later. And so I guess guessing into next year, I want to be part of like Delp. I want to be part of that next year as well. I couldn't do it this year. I really wanted to, but obviously being president, I was like, I can't do it. I can't do Delp this year. But I want to do Delp next year. And when I start up some like not programs, but like maybe some social impact stuff that I want to do maybe later down the line. Yeah,
nice. What would that consist of?
Well, I always wanted to be a social worker sometimes, but I feel like I really want to work in that like mental health department, or maybe just like work within the Vietnamese community, kind of like improve the leadership. Just it's in a way it's almost like Delp, but just maybe a little bit more steps, I guess. I don't know, but I wouldn't start my own program. That's impossible. I don't think I could do that. But just like do things for my community and just like make sure like, especially the Vietnamese community that I'm a part of, like we grow bigger and stronger.
Yeah, together. Love that. Where can people find you as well?
What do you mean? So my socials pretty much? Yeah. Oh yes, I got the basics, Instagram, Facebook.
They'll all be in the show notes below.
Okay.
Yes. Oh my god.
Yes.
It's been a while, friends.
At kev.vo, yes.
Oh, so now you're talking.
No. Wait, I don't really want to promote my socials.
Yeah, okay. You let me know what you want in there. Do you have any final departing words?
Final departing words
for the listeners. It sounds like I'm just gonna say what I think. It sounds like you're very aware of like your boundaries and like what you're capable of, and you listen to what your head wants. And I really respect that, because I think a lot of people follow their heart a lot, and it gets them in situations where they can't necessarily wiggle out. And it's very unfortunate, but you're taking breaks, you're saying no to things, but you're also saying yes to opportunities as well, and I really admire that in you. So,
thank you.
Yeah, no worries at all. Anything else?
Well, I did tell my brother I was going to podcast, so he said he wanted a shout out.
Shout out
to my brother, J Twan. That's what he wanted me to say.
J Twan. Shout out.
But yeah, no, the thing is, like, my brother's always been there as well, so I guess he's such a huge expert in my life. Even though he's my half brother, he's such a big brother to me. So
love to see it.
Shout out to my brother.
Sorry, I'm really rusty. Be sure to follow at Life with Lamb Podcast.
Oh my god!
On Instagram. Leave a like on the YouTube video, and please rate the show 5 stars on Spotify as well.
Yes, everyone should rate it 5 stars.
Thank you very much, and give it a follow. Until next time, we'll see you later.
See you later, homies.